Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is B046 and today we're doing something a little different. So I found on this channel, I was looking through everything and I kind of figured this channel doesn't feel like me, if that makes sense. There's a part of it that's missing, and that part is a huge part of my life. It's the nerd side of me. Um, so back in middle school, after I transferred from schools and knew no one, I met a small group of friends, and one of the guys from there introduced the three of us into a game called Magic the Gathering. It's a nerdy card game based on creating a deck to destroy your opponents. Now, a brief rundown of the game is you have a deck, usually you can buy one pre-made or you can buy a bunch of different cards and make your own. There's creatures, spells, or creatures and instant sorceries, lands, stuff like that. You gotta combine them to make a very useful deck, so you have a chance against your opponents. So in this series, I want to pretty much go through the different colors of the game. There's 5 different colors: blue, black, white, green, and red. And I want to explain the combinations between those colors, how you can use them in their strongest capabilities to destroy your opponents. We're going to start off this video series with one of the easiest decks I find to make, which is a Monogreen. So Monogreen is, the land for it is a forest. It's hard to see from there, but you can see the tree symbol. And to play most of these cards, there will be a cost in the one corner, or in the top right corner, there'll be a cost. Usually it's a gray number, or a black number in a gray circle, and however many numbers of a certain symbol. So for this card here, which is hard to see, I'll put a picture of it on the video right here. It has 1 green and X colorless. So the X means you can pay however much you want, and that has a certain effect on the card. So this one, it's called Hungering Hydra, enters battlefield with an X/1/1 counters on it. So X is the number that you paid. Mono green is a very powerful color because it's based around big, strong, powerful creatures and planeswalkers that will help get the creatures out. Now, a little history about planeswalkers is they are essentially what I like to call the player, but a lesser version of it. Because a planeswalker is supposed to summon creatures or mana, something like that, exactly like what the player can do. I have only one planeswalker in this deck. It's Nissa, Sage Animist. I will show a picture of her on screen. And basically, she is like us, but has a certain ability, like you can reveal the top card if it's a land, put it on battlefield, otherwise put it into your hand. And a lot of green planeswalkers are based around creatures, mana. Well, creatures or mana, really. It's a very wide variety of everything, but I want to do a rundown of this deck. So this deck is based on getting out mana early, and a lot of it. So there's, I believe, 24 land cards in this deck, which gives you a pretty good chance of getting land right off the bat. And if that's not it, we have 3 Elvish Mystics, which cost 1 green mana, and they can tap for a single green mana too. So if you get these 3 in your hand and 1 mana, you're already on 4 mana on round 1. If that doesn't work, then I also have 3 Whisper of the Wilds, which tap for 1 green mana, or if you have a creature with power 4 or greater, they tap for 2. So with those combinations, it will get you a huge advantage off the bat, because if you can get 4 mana by round 2, you can play some of the more powerful creatures in this deck, such as this Vengevine 4/3, which costs 4 mana. It can attack right away, and you can return to the battlefield from the graveyard. Or there's other cards such as Deadly Recluse, which will help with the defense because it has Death Touch and Reach. Reach means it can block a creature that has flying. Flying, obviously, the creature can only be blocked by creatures with flying or reach. It also has Death Touch, which means any damage done to a creature will be enough to destroy it unless it's indestructible. After those ones are out, they're kind of used to help buff up more creatures. We have an enchantment that allow us to put more 1/1 counters and tokens on the battlefield. It's enchantment. It's a mythic rare from not Conspiracy, Battleborn or Battle Bond. It's called Doubling Season. So with the creature I showed earlier, the Hungering Hydra, or I can't remember which one it was. The X cost. If you were to pay 10, it would put 20 on instead of 10. It's kind of the pinnacle of this deck to help boost a lot of creatures and boost the tokens that they can give you. And say for one of my creatures, Hydra Broodmaster, there's 2 of them in this deck. They have a Monstrosity X cost, which allows you to pay that with 1 green and 2 colorless for every single one. So if you paid 5 for that, it would get 10 1/1 counters, which means that it would be getting 10 excuse me. How we played it is 10 20 20 tokens, because the tokens would be doubled and then the 1/1 counters on those would be doubled again, which is just extremely broken because the next turn you'll be able to attack right away. And one thing that would be bad for this deck is an army of flying creatures, but that too we have covered with a card called Windstorm. It deals X damage to all creatures with flying. So with having enough mana in this deck right off the bat, you can wipe out an entire person's army if they have only flying. If you don't have that, there's 3 cards to block damage. They're Prevent All Combat Damage, one's Respite and one's Fog. Respite will prevent all combat damage and gain life equal to the amount of attacking creatures. Fog is just prevent all the combat damage. So usually with this deck, most of the time I'll find you'll win around round 6 or 7 when other players are getting their big creatures out and you've already got them out. That's why Monogreen is a really easy deck to build. It's really good. And this one has a bunch of different win conditions, so I'll put a card list. I will put it in the description. Sorry about not posting last week. That's another thing. I had a whole problem with training a new employee. It was a huge mess. Worked out in the end, but I'm gonna go more in depth with these type of cards in different decks later. And I want to do a game, a video of just 2 of us playing a game to explain kind of what's going on type of stuff. But I'm sorry for how choppy this first video was. I was up really late last night thinking about what I can do with videos for stuff, because a lot of the gaming videos aren't getting a whole lot of attention, and I think it's killing off the channel slowly, but I'm hoping this will spike some of your interests. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys want, I will have a poll up in that corner over there, if I can point, there, that corner. I don't know where the camera is. That corner. Based on the 4 monocolors, and we'll see which one you guys want to see next. Some of these colors I won't have a deck for, but I can explain really good combinations with everything. So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know, and I'll see you guys later.